Well, for this week's Friday in Focus, we went to Central Lakes College to sit in on Pulitzer Prize-winning poets reading. And as poet Tracy K. Smith tells our Justin Prince, poetry is a key to unlocking a better world.
It was cold, even though the sun was hot on my skin.
Pulitzer Prize winner Tracy K. Smith read poetry at CLC today. The Princeton professor is the final speaker of the 2014 Verse Like Water series.
Tracy Smith is one of the heavyweights in American verse. At 42, she is still a rising star, and I just couldn't be more excited to be hosting this series and promoting poetry to Central Minnesota.
Yeah, I love the sense of community that seems to have taken shape around this series. I've heard people talking about other readings and readers that they've been to and met, and you know, the things that they've taken away from those encounters. That's just so important. So I think this is just a wonderful series.
She read several excerpts from her books, including passages from the prize-winning Life on Mars. Smith says she finds inspiration in her daily life.
I feel like everywhere. I am writing about the things that I see and the things that I wish I could understand more fully. And I feel like there are aspects of every facet of my life that kind of correspond to those two things.
As part of the Verse Like Water event, Tracy K. Smith not only read to CLC, but also held a Q&A session as part of a writer's workshop to inspire future poets.
It was an incredibly humbling experience because she is an idol of mine, and writing alongside her is learning alongside her. And I learned a lot in the 40 minutes that she was talking.
If there's one thing I could take away from this right off the top of my head, it'd be that when you're writing, put yourself into it, and that'll make a big difference.
Smith says poetry is the key to unlocking a much better world.
I think that just speaks to the really important role that poetry and the kind of thinking that a poem fosters. We would live in a world that was much more empathetic, much more curious, much more insightful. And I just feel like poetry is a really important practice.
Johnson says he has plans to continue the series in 2015, with a couple of poets already in mind. For this week's Friday in Focus, I'm Justin Prince.
If you've enjoyed this segment of Lakeland News, please consider making a tax-deductible contribution to Lakeland Public Television.